Psalm 52, verses 8 through 9 says, "But as for me, I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the loving kindness of God forever and ever. I will give you thanks forever because you have done it, and I will wait on your name, for it is good in the presence of your godly ones." Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 6-month reading plan through the book of Psalms, today's reading is Psalm 52, and I encourage you to read that psalm. Now, this psalm is broken down into two distinct sections. Verses 1 through 5 discuss the evil person, and verses 6 through 9 discuss the righteous person. The evil person will be destroyed, and the righteous person will be lifted up. Now, a few years back, Toni and I were given an olive tree. It was in a small pot, and it was only about a foot tall. We have transplanted it into a larger pot, and now it's about 4 feet tall. And it's time to transplant that into the ground so that it might grow to the heights that it should be. Now, when someone first trusts Christ, they are in a very tentative position. They are like a young olive tree. They need a stick tied to that root so that it can stand up straight. This is the person who comes along and disciples them. And as they're transferred into the larger pot, they begin to need something to hold up their branches. Now, that single stick is no longer needed, but rather something needs to be around them so that they can grow. They can be upheld this way. This is what we have done with our olive tree. And now, this year, it needs to be placed in the ground and a more permanent structure tied to it so that it might grow strong and large. At what stage of your walk in Christ are you? Are you in your first potting stage as a seedling? Or are you still struggling to grow up into young childhood? Have you been transferred out of that small pot and into a larger one so that you can begin to develop a strong and root system and grow branches out? Have you gathered around you a group of people who can hold you up as you spread out in your growth? Have you reached the point where you now can provide support for others by being transplanted into the ground so that others can come and rest underneath your shade and see you as an example of someone who has grown in Christ and can support others? It is God who causes growth. It is God who sustains. It is God who waters. But you must be willing to grow and to be transplanted so that others can grow with you. And if you would like a PDF copy of this entire reading plan, please send an email to phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.